entirely sure. Of the Premier League, there were some insane results on the weekend. So many goals, so many fascinating storylines that we need to discuss. So I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into it. Any thoughts you have on any of the games, put them in the comments below. But let's begin with Everton 2, Spurs 2. Goals from Jack Harrison, Jared Brantwaite, and 2 goals from Richarlison. So if we start from Everton perspective, Everton, I actually think they deserved a point. I think they deserved a point in this game. They got one late on 94th minute. I was kind of thinking, as the game went on, they're just not going to get that goal, are they? But they kept going, and they eventually got that goal, so full credit to them. I thought set pieces, they were absolutely superb, as they have been all season. Pretty much all of their goals came through set pieces. They are just monsters at set pieces, proper short touch ball. And yeah, good performance by them. Idrissa Gueye stood out to me in terms of where he was winning the ball back, was absolutely superb. Everton definitely deserved that point. That's a big point to come back from a goal down, get it level, go 2-1 down again, kept going, and they eventually got that point. So that was a big point for Everton, and I think it was a deserved point for them. As for Spurs, I mean, firstly, Richarlison, fantastic performance by him. His second goal was an absolute banger. Full credit to Richarlison back at Everton. Didn't celebrate as well, fair play to him. But he is really holding up. One of the most improved players this season. Massive shout out to him. But for me, I didn't think Spurs were that good. I think this was actually quite a poor Spurs performance based on how they performed in previous games. Like, I don't know what it was in this game, it just wasn't really clicking for them. Van der Ven was absolutely superb defensively. And again, late goal conceded for Spurs. I saw a stat, I think it's the 8th goal of the season that we've conceded in the 90th minute, which is mental. They really need to stay switched on in games because they just keep on conceding these late goals. It's really poor. That's not a good habit you want. And also Vicario, again, pulled off some fantastic saves. He's been amazing this season, but I think we are starting to see a bit of a weakness in this game. It's almost De Gea-esque in terms of set pieces. He seems to get bullied a bit. Mainly the first goal. Everton get a man on him, get him near him. He gets a bit flustered, tries to come out for the ball, doesn't get it, and then they score. Same thing happened in the Man City game in FA Cup. It's happened a couple times now this season. That's just something he can work on, but that's also down to the Spurs players helping him out there. But yeah, Spurs, not the best performance, and they'll be disappointed if they didn't get that 3 points, considering they were so close to it. But full credit to Everton, I think they deserved a point. I think a point was a fair result. Okay, on to Brighton Palace, which was not a fair result. Or actually, it was a fair result. Brighton 4, Palace 1. Goals from Lewis Dunk, Jack Hinchelwood, Facundo Buonanotte, and Joao Pedro, and then Jean-Philippe Mateta. So we start with Brighton. Incredible. Absolutely fantastic. It's such a great response from midweek where they got absolutely battered by Luton. To go out and do that, fully deserved it. Look at this, they absolutely dominated Palace. Going into this, I was going to say, this is a nailed on 1-1. They always draw 1-1. Brighton have finally beaten Palace and broken that 1-1 curse. But they were incredible, and some of the goals were insane, and some of the individual performances. That Joao Pedro goal was beautiful. Danny Welbeck's little flick for the assist was insane. Joao Pedro, man of match for me. He was incredible. The way he was dropping deep, it was almost Firmino-esque, linking up play. He was everywhere, and yeah, this guy is a baller. He is a baller. I also thought Derek Lamberty down the left-hand side was electric, absolutely electric. Just added that little dimension to Brighton, which I think they've lacked recently. Someone who gets the ball and just runs at players. Medoma is obviously injured, so they don't have that, but Lamberty brought that in this game. Pascal Gross for the third goal. Insane, absolutely sat down Joachim Anderson. And overall, 10 out of 10 performance by Brighton. Perfect response by them. Now as for Palace, oh god, do I have a lot to say about them? Abysmal. I mean, some of the defending for the goals was a shambles, absolute shambles. For the Lewis Dunk goal from the set piece, the defending was pathetic, absolutely pathetic. To allow him to have a free header, it was so poor. Mark Gay got injured in this game. Add to their woes makes it even worse for them. Joachim Anderson defensively had a disaster class, was getting ripped up, did make up for it kind of with a fantastic cross from a Tedder's goal. Adam Wharton had to come on for Mark Gay. He got absolutely chucked in the deep end and gave the ball away for one of the goals. I think it was Ingelwood's goal. I don't blame him, he's a young kid, just got chucked straight in, but that was a welcome to the Premier League. And then there were fan protests about the board, and the pressure is mounting on the board and Roy Hodgson after this, because I mean, there was a decision in this game which was absolutely comical. So basically, in midweek, Mike Willis tore his hamstring or pulled up with a hamstring problem and had to come off. You're thinking that's not good. 4 days later, he's somehow named in the squad and on the bench, which is strange. Usually after a hamstring injury, that's at least a couple of weeks, even if it's just a little knock. You're usually not back after 4 days. Well, he was back. He was only deemed fit enough to play 45 minutes off the bench. So with Palace 3-0 down at half-time, Hodgson puts him on at half-time, and after 8 minutes he pulls up injured, hamstring again. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but it is just an absolute shambles. Why has the medical team deemed him to be fit? Why has Roy Hodgson played him? Why has the player said he's fit? I don't know what's going on here, but someone needs to take accountability for that mess, because that is a shambles, and it only adds to Palace's woes. I completely understand why they are annoyed at the owners. The owners at Palace have been really poor over the last few years. I remember when Patrick Vieira got the sack, I did a video on Palace and I explained everything about their owners and how they don't really invest much in the squad and have just been trying to, I guess, keep the club afloat, not really trying to kick on, and it's now coming back to bite them. And Palace are in real danger here. And Roy Hodgson, there's some good managers out there like Steve Cooper now. I think we need to bite the bullet. I think we need to make a change because Palace are not doing well at all. Alright, next up, Burnley 2, Fulham 2. Goals from David Dasher, Vavano, Joao Bellinha and Rodrigo Muniz. Okay, now this was another fantastic game. More goals in this game. We'll start with Burnley. Burnley, incredible, absolutely incredible. Come back from them. 2 goals down in the 70th minute. I believe they haven't even won a single point from a losing position. So everyone's like, yeah, this game's done. But they fought back, full credit to them. Fulham did kind of hand it to them on a plate, but we'll get on to that. But you have to give Burnley credit. Fantastic. David Fofana, as a Chelsea fan, one of the only good things of this weekend of football. Love to see that. He looked actually really good when he came on. His pace is fantastic. He's so quick. But it's a massive point for Burnley. Finally a bit of fight, bit of character. The first goal actually came from 2 debuts. Fofana finished off and Lorenzo Asignon set it up with a nice cross, so that was also good to see. James Trafford now for the first so many times they get bullied on these set pieces. James Trafford, they just stick a man on him and he doesn't know what to do. Similar thing to Vicario, they need to sort that out. But credit to Trafford because he kept them in this game. Without him, Burnley don't get a point because he was getting peppered a lot and he made a lot of big saves and he just kept them in the game. If Fulham got that third goal, it would have been wraps, but he kept them in it with his saves. Burnley then go ahead and get their 2 goals. So this point is definitely down to Fofana and Trafford, and hopefully Burnley can use this to just build a bit of momentum and belief in the club because they need it. Alright, from a Fulham perspective, this was really poor. This was really poor. Now, their performance was actually really good. They were by far and away the better team, by far and away. They dominated Burnley, could have been 4 or 5, but to throw away and draw this game is criminal, absolutely criminal. Now, the second goal, I just want to say that's like assist of the season. He definitely didn't mean to do that by Anthony Robinson. He like overhead kick cleared it from his half and it somehow landed for Muniz. He scored, which is pretty funny. He was also crying after he scored. I'm not entirely sure what's gone on there. I'm not sure if he's just crying because he scored his first goal. If that's the case, that's embarrassing. But maybe there was a like deeper meaning or something. Anyway, Fulham so wasteful in front of goal. We had chance after chance, as I said. Trafford pulled off some good saves, but if you're Fulham, you got to put those away. 7 shots on target, 15 shots altogether. They were in control of this game. If you don't, 2-0 is such a dangerous score because once they get one back, suddenly the game switches, and that's exactly what happened. And also the way they happened as well. 2 individual errors cost them. Burn Leno for the first one. What on earth was he doing? Tried to come out for the cross, didn't go anywhere near it. Goal. And then Kenny Tete tries to clear the ball and just completely scuffs his line, and they go on to score. So 2 individual errors and poor finishing cost Fulham. Definitely 2 points dropped for them and definitely 2 points gained for Burnley. Alright, next up we have Newcastle 4, Luton down 4. Mental. 2 goals from Sean Longstaff, Kieran Trippier, Harvey Barnes, Gabriel Osho, Ross Barkley, Carlton Morris and Elijah Adebayo. This was mental. 4-4. What a game. What an absolute banger of a game. So if we start off with Newcastle and some of the goals we'll also go through. So for the second goal, this Sean Longstaff goal, full credit to Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, insane run for that, was really good there. Got stopped at half time. I'm not sure if he got an injury or something. Dubravka for Luton's second goal. The Ross Barkley one was quite poor. It was a really bad parry. There was a shot saved. Should have parried it away from goal. Parried it straight to Barkley at the open net. Bruno's cross for Trippier. That goal was absolutely exquisite. I think it was outside the boot. Fantastic by Bruno. And overall, Bruno was insane. At the end, Newcastle really should have won the game because Bruno put in another outside the boot cross and Jacob Murphy had an open goal but didn't tap it in. It was really poor. I'm not sure how he missed that. It was good to see Harvey Barnes, fantastic goal from him. Back from injury, they definitely need him back to his best, and back from injury, definitely going to help them out a lot in terms of in front of goal. But the main issue here for Newcastle was the flanks. They were getting cooked, absolutely cooked from out wide. Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, especially Dan Burn. Dan Burn was getting targeted the whole game and was getting ripped up by Okabene and all the players down there. He wasn't getting much support from anyone. None of the Newcastle players were helping him. Even down the right hand side, Trippier got cooked a little. But that was the main issue. Defensively, really poor. Going forward, not bad by Newcastle. I thought Newcastle, were a better team. But, I mean, they'll just be glad they were 3-1. Or no, was it 4-2? Yeah, it was 4-2 down at one point. So, they'll be glad they got at least a point in this game. As for Luton, fantastic fantastic. I mean, they'll be annoyed if they didn't get all 3 points, considering they were 4-2 up at one point. But to go to St James's Park and put 4 past them, that is mental. That is absolutely mental. Elijah Adebayo, this guy is on red hot form. He scored a hat-trick midweek, got a goal here, and that was an absolutely fantastic finish for his goal, by the way. But they were fantastic. As I said, they targeted down Burnley, they targeted the wide areas. They were fantastic down those wide areas. Okpene, Alfie Doherty, fantastic. Ross Barkley. What has happened to this guy? How is he just turned into like prime Kevin De Bruyne? Like, what's going on here? What is going on? I don't understand. Ross Barkley for Renaissance. I might need to make a video on this because he is balling out right now. Another fantastic performance. And that's what 4 goals scored against Brighton. 4 goals scored now versus Newcastle. The goals are flying in by Luton. Will they stay up? They look like they are finally clicking and things are going well. I'm not sure if they will stay up, but they are in some fantastic form right now, so full credit to Rob Edwards. Right, on to a team who are definitely going down. That is Sheffield United. Sheffield United 0, Aston Villa 5. Goals from McGinn, Watkins, Bailey, Tielemans and Moreno. Let's start with Villa before we get on to the negatives here. And I absolutely bash Sheffield. Villa, I mean incredible. Absolutely incredible to go to Sheffield. I know it's Sheffield, but to go to any team and put 5 past them, insane. Get the job done inside 20 minutes is pretty mental. And some of the individual performances were insane. They were absolutely ruthless. Tielemans, his goal was an absolute banger. Ollie Watkins, I think he got 2 assists in this game. He was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Only got the 1 goal, but his performance deserved more because he was superb. But for me, one of the real standouts in this game was Douglas Luiz. He only played 1 half, yet he pulled out. Absolutely pulled out. He got the assist for Watkins. His pass for that, I think it was outside the boot, insane. And then his pass for Watkins for the first goal. Watkins then hit the post and McGinn scored. Insane. Luiz was superb in this game, absolutely superb. Emi Martinez also deserves a mention because he made, I think it was a double save, which was really, really good to maintain that clean sheet, which is really nice for those Villa defenders. And overall, I mean, Villa were ruthless in front of goal. Managed to take off and rest a couple players as well. Just overall an insane performance by Villa. Cannot ask for any more. And yeah, huge win for them. Right, Sheffield United. Where do I start? First goal. Shocking, absolutely shambolic. Everyone was sleeping. The ball is hitting the post, rolling over. All of the Sheffield defenders are just standing there watching the ball. And then McGinn's the only one alive and scores. Shambolic. This Moreno goal as well for me was the worst one of the lot though. He's at the back post, Moreno, in this position, and he is literally standing there for about a whole minute while the ball is there, and nobody decides to go over to him. And then he has all the time to want to take it down and score. Shambolic, absolutely shambolic. Overall, they just gave far too much space, far too much space to Villa, especially Douglas Luiz. You know how good he is on the ball. Far too much space. Watkins even said in his post-match interview, he said, "I've never seen a team play a 5 at the back and allow so much space." It sums up Sheffield. It's just so poor. And I mean, look, I'm not going to say they're gone now because they have Luton next week. If they don't beat Luton, I am going to say Sheffield United are relegated. If they don't win now, they're gone. They are gone for me. Because yeah, they are just a shambles, absolute shambles. Interestingly enough, another side note was Graham Potter was in attendance in this game. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing here, but yeah, that was just a weird note. One of the only anticlimactic games really of this weekend, we had Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, goals from Justin Cliver and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now his Callum Hudson-Odoi goal was absolutely superb, by the way. Fantastic goal by him. And Forest were okay. Taiwo Awoniyi, really good to see him back. Played a full 90, looked really sharp, really good. Matt Sells in goal, made his debut, and I mean, it's early days, but he looked far better than Turner and Vlad Gomez. So yeah, that's promising at least for Forest. We'll see if he can maintain that. I thought Murillo was again fantastic for Forest, as he has been all season. And Bournemouth is a really difficult fixture nowadays, so for Forest to go there, get a point, I thought they were okay. I felt the point was probably fair. So yeah, solid for Forest, solid point for Forest. Bournemouth, be a little bit disappointed. I thought they were maybe slightly the better team in this game. They had quite a few chances, but that conversion rate really poor. 9 shots, only 2 on target. There was a red card in this game. Philip Billing got a red card. There was also a woman referee for this, which was pretty cool to see. Rebecca Walsh. Full credit for this decision, by the way, because when I saw it in real time, I was like, how on earth is that a red? I thought you just tripped him up, yellow card. But looking back on it, it was fully justified. It was a red card, so full credit there. But as I said, Bournemouth were slightly the better team in this game for me. But a point is a fair point for both teams. I think both will not be too disappointed with that. Chelsea 2, Wolves 4. I'm not going to say anything about Chelsea here. All I'm going to say is video coming soon. Well done to Wolves. Fully deserved. Fantastic. You've done the league double over us. Well done. And great response from a midweek disappointment against Man United. I am seething. I'm not going to talk about this game. Video coming soon. Just watch out. Anyway, Man United 3, West Ham United 0. Goals from Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho with a brace. So, from a Man United point of view, fantastic. Rasmus Højlund's goal was really nice. A little fake shot and then banger, clinical. Really good to see Højlund finally getting a bit of form. I think that's like 4 goals in the last 4 games. Really good. And overall, this was a big win for United because West Ham in general is a really tough team, and they've posed a lot of big teams problems this year. They went to the Emirates and beat them, so this was a potential banana skin for United, but they overcame it. I also want to give out a shout out to Andre Onana for once, because 8 minutes in he produced a top save to deny Alvarez, and if that goes in, this could be a completely different story, so full credit to him for that. It was a big win for them. Their only blemish was really Lisandro Martinez. Picked up another injury hopefully for them. That's not too serious, but it was a good win for them. Rasmus Højlund, by the way, I'm not a fan of that celebration. Not a fan of it. Please don't do that. Please don't make that a thing. But it was a pretty cool celebration with Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo and Højlund. But yeah, good win for Man United. As for West Ham, you know what? I think West Ham were actually pretty good. They had a lot of chances. Look at that. They had 22 shots. They had a lot of chances. A 3-0 does not really reflect the performance of West Ham. They were quite good. They're just really wasteful and quite a few individual errors. Areola had to come off at half time. Fabianski came on for the third goal. I don't know what he was doing. He just stood there, didn't even try to dive. Calvin Phillips as well for that third goal came on for a little cameo. Lost the ball. He's not had a good start to life at West Ham. Emerson an absolute disaster. He was at fault for I think it was the third goal. It was one of Garnacho's goals. Just not tight enough. And also going forward with Zabism, we had like 2 or 3 chances and completely fluffed his lines. But yeah, if West Ham had took their chances, could have been a different story, but they didn't. Man United did, and that is how the game went. Alright, on to finally the biggest game of the weekend. I should Man City, Brentford, so not including this in the review. Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1. Goals from Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, and an own goal by Gabriel. So, let's start with Arsenal. Huge, absolutely huge, absolutely huge. They really, really needed this, because if they had lost this game or even drawn it, you would say their title hopes could potentially be over. But this win puts them firmly back in control, and back in that title race. You saw the way they celebrated Mikel Arteta and the club. They knew how much of a big win this meant, and they fully deserved it. Look at the stats. Liverpool had one shot on target. When have you ever seen Liverpool have one shot on target in a game? Arsenal were insane, and I really liked the tactic as well. They almost Liverpooled early on in that first half. First half was insane, by the way, by Arsenal. I don't know how it was 1-1 at half time, but Arsenal were pressing so high and Liverpool couldn't cope. And then after they went 2-1 up, Arsenal just sat back in their shape and defended really, really well. Liverpool couldn't break them down. I will say it was an absolute calamity for that goal. Absolute calamity. I thought David Raya, it's kind of his fault in that situation, because Saliba is shielding out the player and David Raya is not coming for that ball. You have to come for that ball. He doesn't come for the ball, then a mix-up happens and it goes in. That was a shambles, but besides that, they were really, really good. Trossard's goal was superb. Great run by him. I thought Martin Odegaard played superb in this game. Kai Havertz started up front over Nketiah, interestingly, and I thought Havertz was pretty good actually in terms of drawing those fouls and being that link-up player. We saw that quite a bit at Chelsea. He's quite good in those big games of being that number 9. So maybe that's something Arsenal will look to try and employ more often. I saw a lot of people criticising Arsenal for the way they celebrated, like Jamie Carragher in particular. I don't think that's justified. I have nothing wrong with how Arsenal celebrated. It was a big win. They beat Liverpool, top of the league, and puts them back in the title race. I think that's perfectly fine to celebrate the way they did, so I have no issues with that, and fantastic by Arsenal. Liverpool, though, probably the worst performance of the season by Liverpool. Definitely the worst performance of the season by Liverpool, and one of the worst in a while. Was really, really, really poor. Almost like the Liverpool last season. This was, for the first goal, for the second goal, really, really bad. They were far too open, far too open. Too much space, far too exposed for defence. This back four got cooked, absolutely cooked. All of them got absolutely sliced and diced. The first half was abysmal, absolutely abysmal. Red card fully justified for Canate. I mean, what else? Oh yeah, Alisson. The back 5. Let me add that. The back 5 got absolutely cooked and sliced and diced. Because for that goal, for the Martinelli goal, Alisson and Van Dijk absolutely meh. I blame Alisson more because Van Dijk, you can see, is clearly trying to do similar to what Saliba did. Just see out and block Martinelli, and Alisson, he comes out erratically and completely miskicks it, kicks Van Dijk instead and misses it. I think Van Dijk did his job there, but Alisson just miskicked it. And also for the third goal, for Trossard's goal, he probably could have saved that as well. He does have that odd absolute howler of a game, doesn't he? And yeah, today was one of those days. But just really, really bad by Liverpool. Really, really bad by Liverpool. Fantastic by Arsenal. Alright, now it's time to do our player of the week, VAR mess up of the week, and worst player of the week. So, for me, player of the week, we have a couple contenders here. Definitely, where is it? There. Ollie Watkins and Douglas Luiz deserve big mentions for their fantastic performance for Sheffield. Bruno Guimaraes in that Newcastle Luton game, potentially was actually nothing really bad this week for once with VAR. So I'm actually just going to give it to the whole Elise situation, Roy Hodgson, the medical team, for that calamity they did there. And then worst player of the week. Emerson definitely gets a mention for his calamitous display in front of goal versus Man United. But for me it has to be Alisson. Alisson shambles on that second goal, and then the third goal could have saved it as well. So yeah, I'm going worst player of the week Alisson, best player of the week David Adrian, and VAR mess up of the week goes to that whole Michael Elise situation. But those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on the game? Let me know if you agree or disagree with those thoughts. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, consider subscribing. I'll see you in another